breaking update. This is amid the violence that was reported in in West Bengal's Murshidabad, where the Supreme Court, now while hearing the petitions filed by lawyer Shashank Shekhar Jha in connection with Murshidabad riots, has asked the petitioners pointed questions. Justice Kant asked, who are the persons to be rehabilitated? Who are the persons who fled the state? Are they before this court? Why are you extensively relying on media reports? The Supreme Court, meanwhile, also asked the petitioner if he is playing to the gallery and asked him to file a proper petition. The Supreme Court here also refused to entertain the second petition filed by lawyer Vishal Tiwari, who had sought Supreme Court monitored SIT probe into Murshidabad violence. Let's get in a word from Harish right now, because Harish, with regards to Murshidabad violence, there have been several pleas and petitions that were already taken up and being heard by the Calcutta High Court. Here are certain individuals who had approached the Supreme Court asking and seeking for its direct intervention. What did the Supreme Court say?
Yes, that's right, Amita. Very interesting hearing as far as the petitions seeking Supreme Court monitored probe is concerned. Number one, Advocate Vishal Tiwari had sought the probe by a judicial commission appointed by the Supreme Court, while Advocate Shashank Shekhar Jha sought a court-monitored SIT probe. In the first petition, the Supreme Court, Advocate Vishal Tiwari said that he needed to place some fresh facts on record, like the statement made by Nishikant Dubey. Supreme Court allowed him, saying that yes, we have to maintain the decorum and decency of the court and also protect the image of the judiciary. Therefore, you can file a proper petition. So Vishal Tiwari was let off by allowing him to file a fresh petition. But Shashank Shekhar Jha's petition, Supreme Court took very serious view of, saying that here there is no precise facts, no details as to how many people have fled the state, how many people had to be rehabilitated, what exactly are the problems faced by these people. And from the reading of the petition, the Supreme Court realized that the petitioner Shashank Shekhar Jha had extensively relied on newspaper reports and rather than his own research. And the Supreme Court said that liberty is given to the petitioner to file a fresh petition after doing some research, and you cannot be allowed to play to the gallery. You cannot make allegations against certain individuals, play politics using the platform of the court. So after making such observations, the Supreme Court has allowed both of them, Shashank Shekhar Jha and another petitioner, Vishal Tiwari, to withdraw the petition and file a fresh petition. So as of now, Supreme Court has refused to entertain the two pleas, one which had sought a Supreme Court monitored SIT probe and a Supreme Court monitored judicial commission to probe into the Murshidabad violence. So as of now, there is no order. Supreme Court has merely asked them to withdraw the present petition and file a fresh petition stating all these facts. Back to you.
But fresh petition with regards to what is being, witnessed in the state itself, because there are teams already, as far as the governor's visit is also concerned, Harish, NHRC teams have also been visiting there, NCW teams are also being visiting there. Will the court take into cognizance if a petition is filed with that regard, as far as many of those families who have been displaced because of the violence?
Yes, that's a very pertinent, very relevant question, Amita. In fact, even Justice Suryakant went on to say that only if you file a proper petition by giving all the facts, laying down all the details and data, as far as there are how many voiceless people are there who needs relief from the Supreme Court, first file a proper petition, only then we can look into it, because we cannot entirely depend on media reports. Many of them might be biased, and also you are making political statements here, making allegations against certain individuals. So you have to file a proper petition, and only after going through that, maybe the Supreme Court might even refer all these petitions to the High Court, because it was thought that the Supreme Court might direct both these petitioners to the High Court, because as you rightly said at the inception, Amita, High Court is already seized of this matter and has been issuing periodic directions on this very sensitive issue. So normally parallel proceedings don't take place. Either the petitions pending in the High Court is transferred to Supreme Court, or Supreme Court will say that anyways High Court is seized of the matter, let both these petitions go to the High Court. So in the first place, Supreme Court has has sought a comprehensive petition from Vishal Tiwari and Shashank Shekhar Jha. For the time being, they have been asked to withdraw the present petition and file a
certain pertinent questions that the Supreme Court has asked as far as the petitioners in this case is concerned. Not convinced with the petitions that have been filed so far. A proper petition is something that the Supreme Court has directed to the petitioners to come again and approach the court. Thank you very much for the moment, Harish, for getting us that update from the Supreme Court. Let's, in the meantime, talk about the victims of Murshidabad, because this is